Congressman Rodney Davis, Republican from the Illinois 13th, which is part of Southern Illinois, joins us here in studio. Rodney Davis, Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, McGraw.
New Congressman, how's it going?
You know, I'm having a ball. It's an interesting learning experience. I liken it to going to the college dorm for the first time, where you walk in and you just size up personalities. And I will tell you, out of the 535 members of Congress, there are a lot of different personalities out there.
I hope you're acting better than I did my freshman year in my college dorm room, but that's beside the point. What's the thing that was most shocking to you that you didn't expect?
That people were so normal.
Okay, fair enough. The people, the congressmen, the congresswomen, Washington, what?
The congressmen, congresswomen, they're normal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's like going in, you're meeting people for the first time, size up personalities, who you can work with on both sides of the aisle, and see what we can do to accomplish some good things.
Have you realized that Democrats don't have horns and a tail?
Yeah, I was one of the few that knew that going in.
Okay.
But, you know, it's been interesting. You have some on both sides of the aisle that you see just want to get ahead on the backs of everyone else, and you just try and stay away from them.
What's your goal? What do you want to do while there?
Well, I want to pass a farm bill this week. I mean, that's something that I campaigned on. It's crucial to my district, which has some of the most fertile soil in the world.
Right.
We've got a great opportunity to pass a farm bill out of the House. I'm one of the whips to try and make that happen. And if we can do that, that's one step in getting back toward regular order. And the best thing about that bill is it's the first real true cut in spending we've seen in Washington in a long time. It's a $40 billion cut in spending, and our commodity groups and the food nutrition program still get a great deal.
And the farmers are in favor of this, right? I mean, it seems like the farm lobby is wanting you to pass this, right? I mean, you have agreement from all sides, more or less.
Well, the farmers in my district that call me absolutely want us to pass this farm bill. They want certainty. And the farm portion's only about 20% of that bill. 80% is food and nutrition, the SNAP program. And we're taking equal cuts, $20 billion out of food and nutrition through waste, fraud, mismanagement, and programs that have been designed to grow that program, and then $20 billion out of the commodity side. And the farmers say, hey, this is a good deal to give us certainty and strengthen our crop insurance programs. We're all for it.
What are the odds of this thing coming out of the House?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
So you do?
I do.
All right. Breaking news here. The House might actually pass something. Immigration reform. How much are you watching that?
Well, I mean, you have to be watching it.
Are you positive that might come out of the House? Not so
personally, not as positive as I am about the farm bill.
All right, fair enough. I've been away for a couple of days. I was on vacation, but it seems like the media and the politicians are talking about this whole NSA wiretap situation. And that's no matter where you go, no matter what newspaper or television show you watch, they're all talking about this. Not one person I've spoken to has mentioned it to me, cares about it, has even brought it up in a conversation. I think the American people don't care.
Well, I disagree with that premise a bit because I get it brought up to me all the time. But I think it's brought up in the sense of another scandal. I mean, this coupled with the IRS, coupled with the AP phone records, coupled with James Rosen, there's just a distrust of what's going on in Washington right now when it comes to privacy issues. I mean, there's one bill that I'm sponsoring, co-sponsoring with Kevin Yoder out of Kansas. It's the Email Privacy Act. Did you know that the government can get access to any email of yours that's 6 months or older just because when the law was written years ago, no one expected us to have this much access to email? Things like that need to be changed to make sure that the American public feels safe and secure that their information, their privacy is protected.
Whereas the IRS is a scandal, the hacking a reporter's phone is a scandal. The administration, both the Bush administration and the Obama administration, has come out and said this NSA tapping is not a scandal. This is the way it is, and we're proud of this. That, you know, when you have President Obama and Dick Cheney on the same side of something, that's not a scandal. I mean, this is the way this is the way we're going to live from now on.
Well, I think there are ways that we have to ensure that privacy protections are paramount. Jim Sensenbrenner, who wrote the Patriot Act, says that he has some concerns with how the specific provision that's being used in this case is being interpreted. So he may come in and make some changes to the law he helped write to ensure more privacy protections. And what scares me is we all want to make sure that we protect America from terrorists and those who want to hurt us. But we also have to understand that getting everyone's data may allow those who are in law enforcement to have too much information to go through and not pinpoint where the focus needs to be.
Here's the issue, I think, with all of this. And I think the American people, you know what, maybe I should care. But if the government wants to look at my emails from 6 months ago, knock yourself out. I mean, maybe I should care. And maybe someday they will come for me. But right now, I don't care. What really ticks me off is that I got to take my belt off when I go through a scanner at the airport, and yet I can't listen to my music on my iPhone because I'm going to somehow bring down the plane, but they don't check to see if my iPhone's off. I mean, there's a disconnect here. What do you need from us to be safe and secure? But there's no rhyme or reason. I got to take my belt off, yet nobody checks to see if my phone is off.
No, you make some great points there, and those are the frustrations of the entire American flying public. And in my new job, I fly a lot. So I'm taking my belt off. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm turning my electronic devices off and trying to get one last text out before the flight attendant comes and taps me on the shoulder. I get it. I understand. And those are the things that we need to address. Those are issues that Congress does need to tackle because it's just an inconvenience.
I mean, the scanner, I have to take my laptop out of my canvas bag because the scanner can't check through the canvas bag. I mean, it just makes no sense. I mean, I'm willing to do whatever my government asks of me, but I don't know what they're asking of me anymore.
Well, and that's a very good point, which is why I think bringing a focus on what's happening with the surveillance issues helps to make sure that the government is doing things correctly. Right. And maybe they will reassess taking belts off and shoes off and other issues too.
The other thing is that supposedly, not you, because this is your first term, but supposedly Congress knew about this whole NSA wiretapping thing for years, and they were abreast of it, and they knew what was going on. So why are they all outraged now?
Well, I got to participate in my first classified briefing on this issue, and I can't tell you everything, or I'd have to come across there and kill you,
right?
Of course. But just by looking at this, there are a lot of folks that I think were briefed on the overall program. But when you start to see different details come out about what metadata is being looked at and how much information is going forward, I think that raises the concerns that some members of Congress would say, we never got into that much detail. But I wasn't around. So this is my first step, and I don't want to do anything to stop the NSA from tracking down a terrorist who wants to kill Americans at all. But I also want to make sure that we don't put so much more information out there that they lose track of the terrorists that want to hurt Americans.
That is Republican Congressman Rodney Davis, first time here in studio. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
McGraw, thanks for having me.
You got it. 7:59. Quick check of traffic.